There's a microphone that'll come to you as well if you have a question.
Hi everyone. Firstly, thank you for putting this together. Appreciate this from you guys, so thank you very much. Secondly, outside of GPS and Courseplay, what mod do you not live without? Let's get like a general consensus, like 2 mods you couldn't live without.
Oh man,
no GPS,
that's
no
so
Courseplay.
easy. Yeah, it's the easiest question
I'll
ever.
start because, so purely from a making vids and doing a YouTube content creation piece, easy dev. And I know you all cheat with it, so don't say you don't. Easy dev is easy dev, awesome. Apart from this mode. Yeah, unfortunately I can't use it on console. So that's why these guys have it a lot easier. I'm not complaining, I'm just explaining. But, yeah.
Alright, since he took easy dev, I'll do power tools and real speed limit.
Yeah.
Manual attack.
If I don't have manual attach, I would say I jump out the tractor and then wonder why I can't detach my trailer. I am so used to having that one that I just, yeah. And it happens on my multiplayer all the time, every multiplayer, because people will see me jump out the tractor and then swear under my breath and then jump back in the tractor and disable whatever, disconnect whatever it is.
Definitely easy dev. I think for any content creator, that's pretty much top of the list.
He uses hard dev.
Yeah, I'm always in that space.
Case Magnum. Case Magnum that's on model. That's one of the best tractors. Yeah. Best one there is for crossplay, so 100%.
I don't need it back. It's easy dev for me.
It's easy dev for him. Yeah,
So I don't need it back. Another question?
Is he still here? Is Mark Thor still here? Right. For me then, it's quick bail.
Quick bail!
If you watch a lot of what I do, you know I love doing the bailing contracts. And that thing, wow.
Quick bail.
Like I said, I'm not bitter, but I don't have easy dev right.
Anyone else? Question?
What was your best stream or best event from Farming Simulator?
Best stream or event?
Lamma.
Yeah, I think this has officially topped it, but I think that's the answer that we'll probably all give. But I do also really enjoy going to FarmCon. I think that's really fun as well.
I think, I've got 2, I probably shouldn't do 2, but I did one quite a few years ago now, and I entitled it Dream Stream. And I got invited to take part in the stream with DJ Gareth and a few of the other guys, and I couldn't have been more excited to be part of all that. It was just absolutely amazing, and I loved it. But for me, it was FarmCon last year in July, because I got to meet these guys in person for the first time, and it was just incredible. And then that led to this. So it was just such an important thing. So I absolutely think FarmCon last year.
Nice. I think I'm the same, but the other way around for me. FarmCon's great every year, but it's very, I hope Giant's not listening, it's very German. Love you guys. But I think what's nice today is it's the English speaking, it's the UK community, and we've not been able to do this up until now. So this has been a wonderful day. Like for us, it's been really special to meet some of you guys, and so thanks for the support. Best stream was very recently actually. I did an episode of The Contractor Live, and I got 16 of the community to come and play online with me, and we had over 600 people watching, which is nuts. So that was amazing as well. So, but yeah, this has been a very special day. So thank you.
So I'm going to elaborate on the All-Star stream that we did. You should never record videos after you've been drinking, because you will say like, oh, Mr. Silly P will never say yes to doing a live stream. So I've got 100 subscribers. I'm going to invite him to a live stream. There's no way he'll say yes. And he contacted me and said yes. And I never drank and recorded again. The best one for me had to be when I went to Volvo last year, 2 years ago, I think at this point now. I got to take a look at all the Volvo equipment and the Platinum equipment, and it was so funny because I told them, I was like, there's no way there's a logging DLC. It has to be digging, excavators, it has to be something like that. And Laura said, nope, it's logging. It turned out to be great, so there you go.
Best event for me, I loved FarmCon last year, and after missing the previous year, to get to go out to FarmCon last year was great. But FarmCon 18 was insane. It was me and Simulate, and we got invited out by Giants to do this little thing called the Farming Simulator Challenge. And I would not be on stage casting the Farming Simulator League today if I hadn't said yes to that. If I hesitated and not sent the reply email saying, yes, I'd love to do that, and ended up with FarmCon 18. And the two of us just had a blast that entire weekend. I think we might have been the first English content creators to go to FarmCon. And it was just the most incredible. And every time, ever since, I've said to any content creator or anybody actually who's a FarmCon planner I've met, I said, go to FarmCon. You will not regret going because it is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, go to FarmCon. Absolutely. It is awesome. Yeah. Completely and utterly. I mean, it is. Yeah. And so last year I enjoyed FarmCon so much when I went in 2018. When I had the chance to go again last year, I turned around to my brother, who's to go to bed, and I said, you're coming with me. And I bought his plane ticket, I did the hotel, and I said, you're coming with me because I want you there with me, I want you to experience this. And he's coming again with me this year. And it's fantastic. Best stream I ever did was after that, I got invited by Giants to do the launch of FS19. And again, me and Simulate, a week at Giants in Erlangen, we were recording stuff of FS19 pre-release during the day, and we were streaming every evening. So many people hated me in the streams. We had 25,000 people watching, and I am driving around in a TX32 combine because we had one of those, and I drove one of those on the farm, and everybody was swearing because they wanted me to go and look at something else, anything else, and spend 2 hours in that combine. But I love that one. Those streams were just amazing.
Favourite event is easy. This is my first one. It's absolutely blown my mind. I've met so many amazing people. Got to see so many amazing things. So yeah, this is my favourite event. My favourite stream is the one I got away with. Every next one is the best one, so, you know. Yeah.
All right, next question. Where are we at? All right, well, they're everywhere.
Yo, Tab probably heard me ask this quite a lot, and I ask it to most people I know who do farm sim. What's your most favourite thing to do and the worst thing to do on a farm?
My favourite thing is silage, the whole process start to finish. I love it doing it on the community farm, and we get so many of us involved. We have such big fields, and it's a great team event. My least favourite is planting the field because it just takes so long.
So after my last answer, it will come as no surprise to anybody that I like to be behind the wheel of a combine harvester. If it's a brand new combine harvester, that's even better.
Sing a song!
Sing a song! Sing a song!
But yeah, if I'm behind the wheel of combine, I spent many summers on my dad's farm, karting and being on combine, and if I can get back to that place, then I absolutely love it. Worst thing to do? I don't have a worst thing to do in farms. It's really weird, but there's not. Great. No, I enjoyed doing a vineyard. I did an entire series through just a vineyard.
You could say it's alright.
There's nothing. Poplars.
So favorite thing to do has got to be mowing. Everybody knows I like to do oats and grass. So we'll go with that. And least favorite thing to do would have to be anything the right way. 3 meter cultivating, there you go, right there.
I think I'm with Average Viking. It's got to be the whole silage process. Love doing that. I think that comes from growing on a farm, doing silage a lot. Least favourite, potatoes.
You know, Mark's right up
This
there.
is an easy one for me, but it could end in divorce, so we'll see how this works out. Mrs. Silly P is in the back there. If you watch any of my videos, I often talk about her. She's been in a few videos with me, and I have to say, best and worst at the same time. Doing multiplayer with Mrs. Silly P teaching her to play the game. I love because we laugh and we muck around and it's brilliant. And it's the most frustrating thing I think I've ever done. When she said to me, I'm better than an AI worker, I did have to pause and think, you're not really. So, best and worst, Mrs. Silly P, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Mr. Silly can move in with me after that. I think for me, my favorite part, this isn't like a specific activity, but I like to take a farm or land and I like to build a farm up from scratch. I like to build it the way I want it to be. I like the business management aspect of the game. I love doing that. The worst, might be sugarcane. It's a popular to close second. That might be tied.
There's so many great mods that make it so easy.
Yeah, I don't use those. Yeah.
Trying to help, man.
But I think that's for me. Any other questions?
Oh, we got a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, we do.
What's everyone's favorite map?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
We've got a couple mappers here tonight as well, so this will be interesting.
Yeah.
This is where we really offend people.
So I don't, no offense to anyone, hopefully. I think for me, and I know this is probably not the most popular opinion, I think my favorite map has to be No Man's Land. I think that's the map that I played the most on. I built multiple farms on it. I have a series that goes over 100 episodes in that, and I just love that map. And I love playing on it, I love building on it and doing just everything, just building everything on it. I love it. It's a lot of fun. So for me, that's my favorite.
I think for me, and this is not, I'm not sucking up, I promise I'm not sucking up, Stone Valley. Because if you know, watch my channel a lot, I like to do British maps. I like to do small fields, tight lanes, hedges, that kind of thing. When I did my Stone Valley Let's Play, I loved the map. I loved the fact I got to use big machinery, do something different that I didn't normally do. And people loved that Let's Play. So for me, absolutely, Stone Valley in a heartbeat.
It is impossible to pick one. So I'm going to go with one that was a series for me that kind of really like escalated the channel when I was in FS19, and that was Flint Hills. And I wish it came back for 22, and unfortunately it hasn't. But that was, it was a moment in time when the channel really took off, and a lot of people watched that. So Flint Hills for me in 19, but that doesn't count, it's 22 now, so I'm going to pick a second one, which is Elk Mountain for my Surviving Wyoming series, because again, just had so much fun pulling that series together on the map that it kind of sticks in my mind as one of my favourite maps.
So as an American, you would think I would pick an American map, but it's not. It's a UK map, Coniston Farm. Absolutely love it. Keep going back to it. I've got a little series off screen that I like to play, and it's literally just hours and hours and hours. But Stone Valley's in there. It definitely is.
So, all-time favorite farm sim map is Cobra Park Farm. It is just such a wonderful map, and I was very fortunate that Bullet Bill invited me to have a walk around it, the real life one a few years ago, and it is so accurate as well. It is my favourite map, bar none and farm sim. Unfortunately, it's not been in farm sim since FS17. I did my first realism experiment on there, so it holds a special place in my heart. FS22, the map that I keep going back to and I keep recommending to everybody else is ArkAngil Park. It is a beautiful map. Again, it's somewhere that I managed to go and visit in person. And again, it is so accurate to the location it is. And it's so customizable as well. Every single farm on that map you can rework to how best works for you. And I love maps that do that. That is brilliant. 100 episodes on it, and the only reason I stopped was because people were watching less, not because I wanted to stop playing. I'd have still been playing that map now if I could. It's brilliant.
I will also second ArkAngil Park. In 19, it was the map that made me fall in love with farm sim. It was the first time I put anything on that wasn't base game, and I'd struggled, swore, shouted, and then I got onto that and I suddenly realised why the game was so fun, why it was so relaxing, why you can spend hours doing it. That goes for 19 and for 22 because it came in for 22, but I will also say Riverview. I have sunk so much time into that map, and I have stopped it, left it, and gone back and played it again from scratch, and it's just developed into a completely different farm every time. So I'm not kissing it up, it's because genuinely it's a beautiful map. So.
Do we have another question?
Hi guys, how can we get more women playing?
A calendar.
That's a really good question.
What was the question?
So how can we get more women playing farm sim? And it's one of those things where I've come across a few female content creators. There are a few on Twitch who are absolutely brilliant, and I try and encourage people in their direction. And I genuinely think that is a really good way of doing it. If you come across a female content creator who's good and brings their own perspective to the game, as all of us do, I say push them forward, recommend them to people. One of the ones who I love is Ultrasaurus. She's lovely. She's done stuff with giants, and I feel that some of the female players in farm sim need a bit more recognition. And yeah, so whenever I quite often when I'm finishing my streams on Twitch, I will raid into some of the female creators I know, and obviously they know who I am, and I've said ahead of time because that is a thing on Twitch. So yeah, I try to push that aspect of the creative community forward when I encounter someone like that.
I'm just going to do a big shout out for Mrs. Sim Gaming, who actually asked the question, who's just started a channel and is doing some really, really good stuff. So, Mrs. Sim Gaming, go check her out. She is really cool. She reached out to me and we've chatted a lot about kind of how how I develop my channel and tips and advice and stuff like that. So, Mr. Sim Game, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. And the channel's growing really quickly, so well done.
Covered, I think, yeah, it's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that covers it. I think just pushing that community as much as possible, and I think that we need more creators that are female content creators to push it more, and I think that'll help make it, I think that'll help push that community. Because I don't think it's any secret to any of us up here that our main demographic is male. So I don't think there's no secret about that. So yeah, I think that's the main thing that would push it. Yeah, other questions?
Plays with you.
Yeah, I really should have done that, didn't I? Even my daughter, CLEG, who got me into the game and was playing with me, I pushed her so much. Lars pushed her. Get into it, do some content. She was good at it. She loved doing it, and she was natural. And every time I asked her, she did that teenager thing. And you get to the point that I can't keep pushing her. I don't know what the trick is. I don't know how to go about it. But when the women in my life have done it, they love it. They're good at it. There are plenty of women out there that play. Just start recording, like all of us did. Just say, you know what, hit the record button and put it out there. Just do it. I think that's the thing. Just have a go. Why not?
Yeah, see, there's also, I think that's another thing too. I have several female coworkers that are police officers of mine that all play the game as well, but they don't watch YouTube videos on it or anything like that. They're not involved in the community at all. So I think there's probably more than we know of, but I think it'd be cool to see more of that kind of come to the forefront for sure. But yeah, any other questions, or Dave, do you have another comment?
Hi. So, tractors are the main, the heart and soul of farm sim. You can probably guess what my favorite tractor brand is. But what are your favorite tractor brands?
Ooh, no.
Oh, man.
My moderator's looking at me because he wants me to say his favorite brand, which is JCB, but I have to say it's not mine. For me, it's tough. I think I've used a lot of Massey Ferguson's, and I really like Massey, but I go back to a lot of times, John Deere and Case. I think those three are the ones that I use the most. I think, yeah, those are the three right there. But I'm less worried about what the tractor, this is a very unpopular opinion. I'm less worried about what the tractor brand is. I usually look at the horsepower, the value, what it can do for me, how easy it is to work in the game. So, like one of my favorite base game tractor period is the Fendt 1050. It's just amazing. But yeah, that's what I got.
What he actually meant to say was he just picks it by the colour. It's just like the colour. I think when you're making content, you try to, in each Let's Play, maybe try and use different stuff. And you try to use a range of different machinery as you're playing through your Let's Plays. That being said, Fendt 1050. I love Fendt, and the 1050 is a monster. And it's just a brilliant looking tractor as well, so for me, Fendt all day long.
Too many to choose, if I'm being honest. I'm pretty agnostic when it comes to tractors, but there's some stuff I always go back to. John Deere 8R and 7R are two that I use a lot. If I'm going for older equipment, grew up on a farm using Ford tractors in the 90s, so the 7610 that's on the mod hub, and if you're talking about off mod hub, the TW15, because when I grew up, FSG Senior over there filming that, we had the first TW15 in the UK with a front hitch, so the fact that I've got that in game now is a little bit nostalgia for me.
This is a tough one for me as well. So I grew up driving international. I own a Kubota, and I work with John Deere. So it just depends on the day, the week, the year. I love them all. Just love tractors. Right now, John Deere. Tomorrow, maybe Kubota. We'll see. I have a hard time choosing. Love them all.
So, grew up. No. David Brown.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Where's my David Brown? I want a good David Brown mod in FarmCatGR.
Never heard of it.
So David Brown, Ford, grew up driving 10 Series Fords and 40 Series Fords. Just absolutely love those. Modern tractor is New Holland. I love the T7 New Holland. The short wheelbase version of it is a cracking tractor. If it goes much over 200 horsepower, then I'm not interested. That's way too powerful.
I don't know.
I don't really have a favourite brand. I will crash anything you put me into. However, my favourite tractor is the one that gets the job done. 100%.
Which is not a David Brown. Actually, even my dad says that. Oh, goodness. Right. Another question.
Another question?
Yeah, can you tell me a brand that not there but you'd like to be?
Brand, what brand?
A brand what is not there.
Which brand do you want?
That's not already in the game.
David Brown.
Okay, I looked around today and saw some pretty amazing stuff there. And it was one of the ones that really stuck out.
Quit making it easy for these guys.
I was going to say, if you want to see Mikhail in the game, ask them on the stand, because I think they need a little bit of convincing. Yeah, if you want to see Mikhail, let them know that as FarmSim fans, you want to see them in the game.
From the UK.
From the, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think if enough people were to turn around and go to them, why aren't you in FarmSim? We'd really like to see you in FarmSim. You might end up seeing Mikhail in the game. For me, the answer to this question, I think I've already answered.
Yep.
Where's my David Brown?
We'll have to go USA back for this one again. So everybody always asks in the comment section, trucks, where's Chevy, where's Dodge, where's Ford?
Mazda Miata?
Mazda Miata. Don't talk about my car. So that's what I think Ford out of all of those would probably want to go to, because you could get old tractors, you could get trucks, something like that. So I think definitely Ford would have to be it for me.
Stole my thunder, Ford as well. Totally agree. Yeah. VF mine was going to be Mikhail. I love doing grass work and seeing the Mikhail stuff today. I walked past thinking, I love that stuff. It looks brilliant. And a lot of the real world farmers I watch run stuff like that. So yeah, Mikhail, I think would be brilliant.
So I know we currently have lizard. I would like to see something like salamander, something created, maybe turtle. I think we need more reptiles, is what I think we need. Very underrepresented, so I think that would be good. I didn't have a brand, so that was what I came up with when I worked this way down. I do like, I think really cool, the Ford tractors are really cool as well, so I think I'll just jump on that bandwagon and call it good.
Good. We'll take you.
Yeah, and obviously salamander.
Yeah. Steiger. Don't we already have that?
Anyhow, another question?
Kind of allowed.
Hello.
Yeah.
So it's the season of High Giants when is next FarmSim game. So to not do speculation, but to talk about what we might want to see, what new gameplay mechanic would you want to see in the next FarmSim game, isn't there? So feature or gameplay mechanic that's not in the game.
That's to pick. No,
Did you just make a video on this?
Yeah, but there's so many things in there. I gotta choose one. Yeah, that's really difficult. I think for me, actually, I'm gonna go with this. I think it's gonna be good. I think I would like to see an overhaul to like the management portion of the menu. I think there should be a little bit easier breakdown of finance, where your goods are, time-saving stock type things. Where they? There we are. Okay. Yeah. So I think since I really enjoy the business management aspect of the game. I'd like to see more breakdown into that and make that a little bit easier. And productions are fantastic, But if you have 100 productions on your map, allegedly, but if you have a lot of them going, it sometimes is more difficult to find which ones. So I'd like to almost organize them into folders or something like that to make it a little easier, just to kind of make the menus a little bit more organized. Or a big thing is, sorry, now I'm just going, but I think you should be able to search in the store for a specific thing if you're looking for it, or something like that, or organized by horsepower, or organized by something like that. I know there's some mods out there that help that, but I think that should be a basic feature. I think that'd be cool.
I think random breakdown of machinery. I think you watch a lot of people online, real farmers, and they're doing the preventative maintenance. They'll be out in the field and something goes wrong. I think that being completely random, you can be out doing something and your vehicle breaks down. You've either got to get out and repair it, you've got to get it back and repair it, and doing preventative maintenance will make a big difference in that not happening. I think that would be quite an immersive thing to add into the game.
How long's the list? Wow. For me, I think more environmental stuff, more impact when it rains, more impact damage on crops. I'm not going to say dynamic terrain, because I know how hard that is to implement, and PJ will say. But yeah, more, I think, like we all know we're British. The weather has such an impact on farming and the way that you farm in the UK, so I would love to see more impact of what happens with the weather, more random events, things like that happening that can have a real impact. Maybe it even impacts the yields of crops, so if you have a really wet summer, the yield of the crops drops and things like that. But we shall see.
So I was going to go with random breakdowns and ways to tow your vehicles out and things like that. And then I was going to go with deformable terrain and things like that. But what I would like to see is more unrealistic and just fun mods on consoles, more script mods on consoles, things like that. To be I'd like all the fun stuff that you can do on PC and just have a great time. I'd like the console players to be able to do that as well. That way I can play on console some more instead of having to do all the stuff on PC. That'd be a lot of fun.
I've spoken about this quite extensively, I think, in some of my streams. I really want to see a pasture system. Yeah. So the idea being that rather than placing down an area that is an animal area or something like that, you have a grass field and you can place a water trough in it, and then it will take animals. And then you can place a feeding trough in it for cows, and then it will only take cows. Or then you could also add a feeding trough for sheep, and it would also do sheep, and so you could then have mixed animals on a field if you wanted to. And if you wanted to place a building down that was a cow building that had the feeding stuff in it, and the manure in it, and everything like that, you'd place it on a grass field, and that grass field would then be the pasture for that building. And then you could place several pastures on your map really easily. And maps like Fairhead then become a pasture animal grazing map rather than a map where you make tons of silage for one little animal shed in the middle of your map. So I would really like to see an overhaul of that system and have animals as something that you build modularly in a pasture. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, very cool.
I had a list in my head. The three of them got ticked off on the way down. So it leaves me with one that myself and my guys have talked about quite a lot, which would be bigger maps across the board. I think one thing that came through on the video that we all did, the community and playing with others is a massive thing. Some of the best times I've had have been on a 4x map, and I'd like to see that come to crossplay. I think as consoles are developing and stuff, I think we're about ready to start coping with it, and I'm hoping that will happen sooner rather than later.
Cool.
World of being creative and doing stuff your own way. He was playing No Man's Land on 19, so he started me off. And then I discovered this guy who delivers, I think, the most important information every single day on FarmSim in terms of mods and new things coming out and news, and keeps you abreast of things so you don't have to go and find it out for yourselves. So a lot of time watching this guy's stuff for a long time. FarmCatGR has a special mention as well, because we started our channels roughly the same time. So we kind of grew up together in a non-weird way. And the last person, this is not one, I know that, sorry Mark, this is not answering your question in any way, shape or form. But ArkAngil Gaming, so this guy said to me very early on when I started out with my channel, find somebody to do it with, because you'll have so much more fun. You know, Daggerwin has chainsaw, he has clutch, and ArkAngil Gaming, who you saw on the vid before, started his channel literally within a week or so of mine, and we've stuck together through thick and thin. He flew over from New Zealand in the summer last year to visit us all. That's how much it means to him as well. So I've got to give him a special mention as well.
I think for me, it's a relative newcomer to it. You know, all the guys have said we all like what each other does. We all bring something different to the game. For me, recently, Scroft is a next level. I mean, I watched some of his stuff, and I've said to anyone that listens, on my channel, we make Let's Plays, we make storylines, we do survival role plays. He makes films, he makes a mini-series that you would watch on the telly. I watch his stuff thinking, I wish I could do what he does, because he's incredible. So for me, and he hasn't been doing it long. I got the pleasure of meeting him today, and if you haven't watched any of his stuff, go and have a look, because Scroft is brilliant. He's up and coming, and what he does is just phenomenal. I think he's absolutely brilliant at YouTube.
My answer is easy too, but before I give my answer, I like that when you asked the question, you specified that we couldn't say any of us. And I can tell, I knew it said, as soon as you said that not a single person up there would have even said themselves anyways. Because that's this group of people and how awesome they are. For me, it's Mr. Silly P. I know that answer was stolen way down there, but
it's a popular opinion.
Yeah, yes it is. For me, I work as a police officer full-time in the States, so when COVID hit, they took all of our overtime away, so I had long weekends, and I was working graveyard, so I was up all night every night just playing Farming Simulator, and it was really lonely just me playing it in the quiet in my house in the middle of the night. So I hopped on YouTube, and I just happened across Mr. Silly P, and I started watching him, and he was the only person I watched on YouTube. And prior to that, I thought it was really stupid that people would watch people play video games online. But now, obviously, here I am, and I totally get it. So it was just kind of that change. And then watching him, I was like, boy, I really want to be part of that. And I never thought that I would ever meet him. I never thought that I'd ever get to know him as a friend, or any of these people for that matter. I never thought that I would be sitting here. I never thought that this would be this big of a part of my life. And so I owe all that to just coming across Mr. Silly P's channel, and I think a lot of people have got a lot of inspiration from that. So I think that's my answer there.
That was our last question, and Mr. Silly P's already said tonight, but is there any of you out there thinking about doing it, but because like, oh, nobody would watch my stuff, or I can't do it, or I don't know what to do? Give it a go. Just stick yourself out there and give it a go, because that's all we did. I think that's all any of us did. And you know, you don't know what can happen, right? This is like the experience that we're having is available to all of us. It's the same game. We're all playing the same content as everybody else. So if you feel like you want to do it but haven't taken that leap yet, just get stuck in and have a go. Honestly, you won't regret it.
I just want to, there's a few people in the room, and I said earlier on about the guys that set all this up. Yoss for doing the website, for organising it, the Giants and Class for jumping on board and being so kind of proactive and helping us, Geek for sponsoring and jumping on board, Dave. The guys here that organised it all and did everything, FSG for the design for the tops and stuff like that. But there's some people in the room that I think we all want to give a massive shout out to and a massive thanks to, and I'm going to forget someone, I know I am. But we've got Mark Thor, one of the modders here. We've got Yoss, is a modder here. We've got Lancy Boy in the room. We've got Ross and Mods. We've got Cavalier Roy. These guys. Oh yeah, I'm going to do your mod. I promise I will do your mod. I have no idea that when modders are putting their stuff out there, they want to see your mod review. and he put his mod out, and I was on holiday, and I didn't review it, and he was gutted. And I didn't realise how important it was. But for the guys out there that are modding and map making and doing that and putting work in, thank you. Because you make the game an immersive, and you know that we're already getting from Giants, just take it that bit further. Thank you guys for what you do. It's